What's up, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome back to our comic book update video. Where I say words and you, the beautiful people, listen. It is I, your crazy Nicolas Cage, your steward of Gondor, your genius, billionaire playboy, basic YouTuber philanthropist, SuperCliff. And would you kindly hit that like and subscribe button, for every little bit helps in this majestic YouTube world. And today, folks, we're going to be talking about Marvel Comics and their new Star Wars crossover event, War of the Bounty Hunters. In addition, me, myself, and I will list all the upcoming books along with their respected creative teams that will be affiliated within this Marvel Star Wars epic. And so, without further ado, let's get weird. Star Wars, War of the Bounty Hunters is a crime epic story that was pitched way back in 2019 by writer Charles Soule. Now, side note, in case anyone here doesn't know, Charles Soule is a phenomenal writer, especially from the Star Wars department. Currently, he's the writer of the main Star Wars comic. He helped develop the High Republic Initiative, aka Project Luminous. He wrote the Light of the Jedi novel back in January. Plus, he's written many Star Wars comic book series over the past 5 to 6 years, including works such as the 2017's DARTH VADER series, which was amazing. Definitely check that out. Oh, and he also worked on Daredevil before Chip Zdarsky took over. Also, the guy used to be a lawyer. Like, what? But yeah, essentially, Charles Soule is a man who knows Star Wars lore inside and out. Plus, he has a great handle when portraying Star Wars characters, old and new, within the stories. And so, for the fact that he's helming this event is a very promising sign. So, in other words, Charles Soule is to Star Wars as to what Jonathan Hickman currently is to the X-Men. By the way, I'm very proud of that comparison. So, yeah, you guys should definitely like, comment, and subscribe. Anyways, back to the point. War of the Bounty Hunter story takes place following The Empire Strikes Back and before Return of the Jedi. And essentially, the story will focus on everyone's favorite bounty hunter, Boba frickin' Fett, and his journey in delivering a Han Solo frozen in carbonite to Jabba's palace. Sounds pretty easy, right? Wrong. Check it. Just because Fett has Solo in his possession, it doesn't necessarily mean that Fett's trip to Jabba's palace is going to go smoothly. I mean, let's face it, folks. Many people within the Star Wars universe hate Han Solo. And Boba Fett, he's not the world's most likable guy either, so he's definitely got some enemies. He's a Tom Brady of bounty hunters. Everyone from criminals, rival bounty hunters, plus he's got some guys who probably hate him in the Empire and in the Rebel Alliance. So, basically, there are a ton of people who are willing to kill Boba for the Han Solo prize. However, no way in hell will Boba freaking Fett allow his reputation to become tainted. Therefore, Boba Fett will have to go up against some of the galaxy's heaviest hitters in order to successfully complete his job. Now, you may also be thinking, hey, didn't this happen before? And yes, you are correct. For this entire concept isn't technically new. However, I do believe that they're taking at least one aspect of that story that I'm about to mention and are expanding on it much further. And yes, if you guys are aware of the Star Wars Expanded Universe prior to Disney buying Star Wars, then you know that I am referring to Star Wars Shadows of the Empire, which I can honestly say was the first media crossover event within Star Wars. Legit, Shadows of the Empire was everywhere during the mid-90s. It had a mini comic book series published by Dark Horse, a Nintendo 64 video game, a novel, a soundtrack, hell, even trading cards. Basically, Shadows of the Empire was that story which wasn't a movie, but managed to bridge the gap between episode 5 and 6. The story also introduced a new villain, named Prince Shizor, who was a really, really cool character. He was also the guy who ran the crime syndicate known as Black Sun, which, by the way, it's confirmed that Black Sun will also make an appearance within this bounty hunter war. So maybe we'll get a Prince Shizor cameo, but I digress. But yeah, one of the major highlights we saw during Shadows of the Empire were the bounty hunters. Characters like IG-88, Zuckuss, Forlom, they were all chasing Boba Fett across the galaxy in hopes of intercepting him so that they could capture Han Solo and end up with the prize instead. Basically the equivalent to a capture the flag match in Halo. Now, sadly, within Shadows, the whole Boba Fett fighting off rival bounty hunters wasn't really the main part of the story. However, it's clear that Charles Soule is taking that particular aspect of Shadows and is expanding upon it for this event. Now, it's unclear whether or not Charles Soule will include characters such as Prince Shizor and Dash Rendar, but we do know that War of the Bounty Hunters will serve as Shadows of the Empire's replacement for the new canon. And to be honest, I actually prefer that. And though I do hope Shizor is included in a new Star Wars canon at some point, Unlike in Shadows, War of the Bounty Hunters seems to have a much more focused vision of its story. And for me, that's always a positive because, this channel and myself are always about great stories, new or old. And now, folks, we have reached that moment, that sensational, appetizing sensation, where I will now begin to list off all the books slated for this epic event. Basically, all the main books, the one-shots, and all the tie-ins. And so, without further ado, let's do this. Starting off in May, we have War of the Bounty Hunters, Alpha, issue number 1, written by Charles Soule, with the art drawn by Steve McNiven. And this issue will serve as a prelude to the miniseries Star Wars War of the Bounty Hunters, which, make no mistake, is the main book. Also, Han Solo and Carbonite gets captured by someone else. So basically, this is the pinnacle issue that starts everything. It causes Boba Fett to kind of go crazy and is like, no, I want my Han Solo back. Yeah, definitely pick this up. The release date is May 5th, 2021, this Wednesday at the time of this recording. Now, the next 4 issues are all tie-ins, and so the way I'll present them will be by their order of release. And keep in mind, these are tie-ins, so they're not really necessary. However, if you're already reading these books, then sure, go ahead and check them out. First, we have Star Wars issue 13, written by Charles Soule, with the art drawn by Ramon Rosaranas, with the release date on May 12th, 2021. Star Wars Bounty Hunters issue number 12, written by Ethan Sachs and drawn by Paolo Vaniglia. And obviously, if you guys have been reading the series thus far, then you can bet your bottom dollar that this book will cover the cyborg bounty hunter Valance and his role as both him and Dengar attempt to intercept Boba Fett from delivering Han Solo to Jabba the Hutt. And also, if you're aware of Valance's character, him and Han Solo have a past. Issue 12's release date is May 19th, 2021. Next, we get the badass himself, Darth Vader, issue number 12, written by Greg Pak and drawn by Julia Villanova. I definitely butchered your name, by the way. I apologize. And this will hit shelves on May 26, 2021. Then we have Dr. APHRA, issue number 10, written by Alyssa Wong and drawn by Ray Anthony Height. And the story has both Dr. APHRA and Santa Staros cornered by Vuka and the Unbroken Clan. Can they pull off a daring escape, even if it means surrendering a Nihil hyperdrive? Ooh, High Republic reference. Oh, and what sets them off on a collision course with one of the most deadliest bounty hunters in the galaxy? And this issue hits shelves May 26, 2021. Now, entering the month of June, we start off with The War of the Bounty Hunters, issue number 1, written by Charles Soule and drawn by Luke Ross. And the synopsis is that nobody steals shit from Boba Fett. Don't worry, it doesn't say shit. I added the shit in, but yeah. And so, basically we have Boba Fett, who's hell-bent on retrieving back Han Solo. And he's not going to let anyone stop him from doing so. War of the Bounty Hunters, issue 1, has a release date on June 2nd, 2021. Next, we have Star Wars Bounty Hunters, issue 13. Same creative team as before, and this time we have Valance going up against Chewbacca, the mighty Wookiee. And this issue comes out on June 9th, 2021. Star Wars, issue 14, written by Charles Soule, along with the same artist, will hit shelves June 16th, 2021. Next, we got Darth Vader, issue number 13. Same creative team as before, and the synopsis being is that both Darth Vader and Ochio Beston embark upon a search for the carbonite bronze body of Han Solo. Plus, in the heart of the dark space, everyone's favorite assassin droid, IG-88, makes a reappearance. Issue 13's release date will be on June 23rd, 2021. Dr. APHRA, issue 11, written by Alyssa Wong and drawn by Minka June. I butchered your name, 100%. And the story follows both Dr. APHRA and Santa Staros discovering an eerie abandoned ship while on their new mission. Plus, Dr. APHRA herself will have to confront the fearsome bounty hunter, Dirge. Hells yeah. And this issue comes out on June 30th, 2021. Entering the month of July, we have Star Wars, issue 15, same creative team as before, with a release date on July 7th, 2021. And this issue has Luke Skywalker embark on an epic journey alongside pilot Wedge Antilles and the pilots of Starlight Squadron. Up next, we have War of the Bounty Hunters, issue 2. Same creative team as before, and the synopsis is that the notorious bounty hunter Boba Fett has tracked his missing prize, the heroic smuggler Han Solo, who's still trapped in frozen carbonite, to the remote frozen planet of Jakara. But representatives from the many of the galaxy's most powerful factions have gathered, and they all want the same thing: Solo. In addition, things go bad to worse, as Boba Fett realizes that he himself has become almost as valuable to the galaxy's hunters as Han Solo, and therefore he must turn to the least trustworthy person in the entire galaxy for help, Dr. APHRA. And this issue comes out on July 14th, 2021. Up next, we have Darth Vader, issue 14. Same creative team as issue 13, and the story is that for decades, no figure has stood as close to the Emperor with so much mystery surrounding her. Who is the Umbaran? What is her role within the Empire and in the War of the Bounty Hunters? And what happens when she emerges from the darkness to challenge Darth Vader himself? In addition, this book will also feature the return of IG-88. And side note, I thought this was Sly Moore, but apparently not, so yeah, I'm interested. This book's release date will be on July 14th, 2021. Star Wars Bounty Hunters, issue 14. Same creative team as before, and the story focuses on a wounded Valance and his reluctant partner Dengar, both who are running out of time and options, as the mysterious assassin named Deathstick is hot on their tails. Issue 14's release date will be on July 14th, 2021. Next, we have Dr. APHRA, issue 12. Same creative team as before, with a release date July 21st, 2021. Now, before we conclude July, we also have a War of the Bounty Hunters one-shot featuring Jabba the Hutt. And my god, what's a bounty hunter event without the galaxy's most dangerous gangster? This book will be written by Justina Ireland with the pencils by Luca Pizzari. Now, the date on this book isn't necessarily legit maybe, but we know that it's coming out sometime in July. And the date we have so far is July 21st. So keep that in mind, it might change. Now, when it comes to the following months after July, this is where the remaining books don't have release dates. However, some of them do have designated months. So let's start with those ones. War of the Bounty Hunters issue 3 is coming out in August. War of the Bounty Hunters issue 4, September. And the finale, War of the Bounty Hunters issue 5, October. But wait, there's more. For we have 3 more additional one-shot books, which also don't have release dates. However, I would anticipate that these bad boys be released in the months August, September, and October. And so similar to Jabba the Hutt's one-shot, each book will focus on a specific character. And they are as follows. War of the Bounty Hunters, Forlom and Zuckuss, issue 1. War of the Bounty Hunters, Bosch, issue 1. And War of the Bounty Hunters, IG-88, issue number 1. And bada bing, bada boom, everyone. That is everything with regards to War of the Bounty Hunters. Now, obviously when it comes to the ongoing Star Wars books, such as Dr. APHRA, Darth Vader, and so on, those runs will still continue. However, whether or not those issues will continue to play the part as tie-ins is not quite a definite, but of course, if you guys follow me on Twitter and the other social medias, I'm always keeping up to date with these sorts of things. So no worries. I'll find out eventually, and from there, I'll inform the entire world. Sinister laugh. But yeah, that's basically this video. So yeah, so tell me, ladies and gentlemen, what do you guys think? Who's excited for War of the Bounty Hunters? Or heck, are you not excited for this? Do you prefer Shadows of the Empire? Well, let's talk about it and discuss it as friends and members of this small little community that I got going on here. And you can do that by simply leaving a comment, thought, opinion down in the comment section below. And as always, if you guys like what you see, /here, hit that like and subscribe button, follow me on Twitter, Instagram, and Facebook, and until next time, peace! Kisses!